No fluff, no bullshit. Here's a list of the top 10 things that are contributing to low testosterone levels in the year 2026. Number 10, nice smelling stuff. You see, everything which smells nice and is sort of like a beauty product, for example, fragrances, soaps, body washes, are made from chemicals called phthalates. Now, phthalates are actually in every single beauty product and they're responsible for the nice smell. But every time you breathe in these chemicals, they're gonna go into your system and they're gonna disrupt your whole entire hormonal balance. So they're gonna increase your estrogen, which is the female hormone, and they're gonna lower testosterone, which is the male hormone. And this is just the 10th thing on the list. Number 9, we have chewing gum. You see, every time when you chew gum, it is actually not made out of normal tree sap gum like it used to be, right? Gum is actually made out of the same thing as car tires. So when you chew gum, it is in your mouth for what? 10-20 minutes, and through all that time you are releasing microplastics into your body, millions of microplastics with every single pack of chewing gum. This is absolutely detrimental for your testosterone levels because you're basically just chewing on plastic and then chemicals which give it the flavor, right? So what I recommend you switch chewing gum out for is mints. Now mints, yes, they are made out of sugar and whatnot, but they're not going to be estrogenic like chewing gum, and they're going to give you the same effect. And I just like chewing on a mints way better than on chewing gum, right? All right, number 8, toothbrushes. You see, toothbrushes are also made out of plastic. Like when you touch the bristles, they're made out of plastic, obviously, but not a lot of people know this, right? And even if they do, they don't understand to the degree of which is gonna release microplastics, because every single year toothbrushes release up to 5 billion microplastics into your body. Now microplastics are very bad for you, and not just for the environment, right? For you specifically, because as I said before, they go into your body, they attach to your estrogen receptors inside every single cell and release estrogen for months, even years in some cases. This is gonna make you develop like a woman, gonna give you titty mass, gonna be infertile, gonna have a lower pitched voice. Like, I dare you, just go on Instagram and close your eyes, right? And start scrolling, and then you're gonna hear somebody talk and you're not even gonna be able to decide if it's a man or a woman. That is exactly how you're gonna be sounding if your estrogen levels are gonna be through the roof and you don't listen to my advice. So I recommend switching out plastic toothbrushes for bamboo ones or natural ones. But here's the catch. Some of them are gonna say bamboo or wooden, but actually the bristles themselves are made out of plastic. So the handle is made out of wood or plastic, but the bristles are not. So I recommend double checking that if the actual bristles are made out of natural material. Okay, number 7, clothes. Look at your shirt, look at your underwear, and then look at the tag. What does it say? Does it say polyester, nylon? What does it say? Because if it says any of those things, you're fucking cooked. Because every time when you have plastic clothes on, which, yes, polyester is made out of 100% plastic, you're gonna be sweating, you're gonna be walking around, the sun is gonna be shining, whatever, right? And all those microplastics are gonna shed because plastic is a very unstable material, right? If you have water in a water bottle which is made out of plastic, a lot of plastic is gonna go into the water bottle because it sheds, right? And then all of those microplastics are gonna go inside of your body. Same thing with the clothes. So I recommend you just switch out all of your clothes, especially all your underwear, for natural alternatives such as cotton, wool, zinc, linen, so on. Because they actually did a study in 1993 where they put dogs into groups. In one of the groups, they put polyester underwear onto these dogs. And guess what they found? These dogs became infertile, meaning these dogs couldn't have any babies. And this is crazy, right? Because they're just dogs. They just had underwear on for a little bit of time. What about you, who wears polyester clothes all the fucking time, all day long? You sweat in them. Plastics going directly into your fucking balls, right? Number 6, tap water. Women take something which is called birth control. Birth control is a pill that women take when they want to increase their estrogen levels because they don't want to get pregnant for a period of time. The same thing is going to happen to you because when these women go to the toilet and they piss it out, the water filtration facility doesn't actually work as well as you think, because they filter out only bacteria, dirt, and pollution, but they don't filter out hormones such as estrogen, right? Because hormones are way smaller than bacteria, for example. That is why you need to buy something which is called a reverse osmosis system with active charcoal. This is gonna filter out all the plastic, all the fluoride, all the hormones from your water, and it's gonna give you clear drinking water, which is not gonna make you gay and not gonna make you infertile. Number 5, cutting boards. Go to your kitchen and look if the cutting boards, you know, the things that your parents chop meat, vegetables, anything on. Look at it and see if it's made out of plastic, and go through it like this with your finger. And what you're gonna see, you're gonna have tiny plastic particles on your finger. And those, where do you think those end up when somebody is cutting anything on it? They end up in your food. That is why you need to switch it out for a wooden cutting board or a marble one, because look at a chopping board and you're gonna see these white streaks, right? Those are microplastics, and all of those have ended up in your food. You ate all of those. So this is a very quick fix. Throw it out and get a wooden or a marble one. All right, number 4, interestingly, are receipts. You see, receipts that you get at the store are not actually made out of paper. They're made out of bisphenols or BPA. These are chemicals which are used to make plastic. But they also make things such as receipts, as I said. And every time you're gonna touch these receipts, the oil from your skin, the moisture, the hand sanitizer, they're all gonna make it release these bisphenols or BPAs into your skin, and you're gonna absorb them. And you're basically, every time you touch receipts, you're absorbing all of that. So I recommend you always deny when at the store when they're trying to give you a receipt, and you always say no thank you, I don't need it. Or if you're a cashier and you're working with receipts, then I just recommend you wear gloves or something so you don't get poisoned by these fucking chemicals every single day for 8 hours, right? Number 3, we have plastic water bottles. As I've said before, if you have anything in a water bottle, it's gonna make the water bottle or any other container shed microplastics into the contents of the bottle. Now, interestingly enough, if what you have in a bottle is fatty, or it has caffeine, acidic, it's hot, or anything like that, it's gonna release way more microplastics into the water than if it were just room temperature water. And the reason for this is because, as I said, plastic is very unstable, and it is way better to store food, for example, in a plastic container, because food doesn't really move around, so only a little part of it is touching the plastic, right? But if you have a liquid which moves around, like water, let's say, then the whole thing is gonna be quote unquote infected with microplastics, right? So just look out for that, bro. All right, number 2, we have paper cups. Every time you go to a restaurant and you ask for takeout coffee, what do they give you? You give you these, right? But they are not actually made out of paper, because what would happen if you were to put hot water or hot coffee into these cups? It would flow out of it, right? It would seep through. This is why they put a plastic lining into the cup. And when you put hot water or hot coffee into these cups, or tea, anything, it's gonna leach billions of fucking microplastics into every single cup. That is detrimental. Not a lot of people know about this because they think it's made out of paper, right? But you have to use your fucking brain, research this. They all have a fucking plastic lining. Same thing with paper plates. So I just recommend you never go to these restaurants and order takeout, or just make the fucking coffee at home. It's gonna be way cheaper anyway. Once in a while it doesn't hurt, but it is gonna stack up if you drink this every single day. And our number 1 spot, the one thing that is contributing to most people's microplastic levels and low testosterone on a day-to-day basis is, drumroll, cut that shit out, tea bags. You see, tea bags are actually not made out of paper as you might think. Tea bags are made out of half paper and half plastic. And when you put hot water and you're trying to make tea, it's gonna release up to 9 billion microplastics into every single cup. You know how much that is, bro? 9 billion, not million, billion. And especially if you have those pyramid ones, they are actually made out of 100% plastic. Those are way worse. And that is why I recommend you just cut the tea bags open and you put the inside into like a metal strainer and put hot water over it that way. It is gonna be way better than drinking microplastic juice every single morning. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope this advice is gonna help you. I hope you all will implement this advice. And subscribe, like the video, comment for the algorithm, help me get to 50 subscribers. Share the video to your friends so they all learn about this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.